Dumelang Sambanani. Hello, South Africa. A very warm welcome to Expressions. This is definitely the place for you to air your views. I'm your host, Jacqueline Mapala.
Kanti-ke sinibingelele sinamukele nami your host umxolisi wakamasango. Njengoba nibona-ke Expressions yonke indawo la khona abantu abasha. Namhlanje we're having another important conversation around inhlupheko in the country, kakhulukazi njengoba kuyi-lockdown nangesikhathi se-COVID-19. This is at the back of the report by the World Bank labathe khona inequality in the country continues to be on the rise. Namhlanje-ke siyabuza, are government's relief efforts enough for basic human needs? Ake sibheke na indaba. See Expressions namhlanje stop set sisithatha sisibeka live for Slorus, where we catch up with young people and find out about struggles lawo abawafaceayo ikakhulukazi kuma child-headed households. Let's go meet this young lady who tells us of her story today. So, as we continue to have our conversations around COVID-19 kanye ne-impact ye-lockdown, we're also reflecting on some of the struggles efaced abantu abasha ikakhulukazi ngesikhathi samanje. Siswami sikubingelele sikwamukele ku-Expressions. Ngizocela mhlambe ungithathe ngibeke esithombeni ngendaba yakho and tell me ukuthi nihlala nibayingakhi la ekhaya. You looking after a household?
La ekhaya sihlala nosisi wami siyi-2 nabantwana bethu abayi-6. Akunamuntu osebenzayo, siphila ngemali ye-grant nalabantwana laba abayi-6 and abanye bayafunda isikolo, abanye abakaye esikolweni basesebancane abakafundi. Kusho ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi siyasokola ngoba nale mali ye-grant incane, uyabona? Siyathenga ukudla kodwa ukudla kwakhona kusilast inyanga yonke ngoba sibaningi and abanye kumele badle baba esikoleni, badle futhi mababuya, badle mabalala. Uyabo khona abangayi esikoleni total kumele badle kuseni emini ntambama ebusuku, uyabo? And kwesinye isikhathi sinokulala singadlanga ngokuthi ukudla asinakho and ayikho into esizoyenza ngalokho. Njengoba nala akunamuntu osebenzayo, siphila ngayo le mali yethu grant kuphela. And njengoba kunganamafestera kuso akekho umuntu ozowafaka ngoba le mali esiyithola kumele sithenge ngayo ukudla, sithenge ngayo impahla zabantwana. Uyabo nje kunzima nje. Yonke into yethu inzima. Asinagesi, igesi yala ikweke kwasha lana kwaphuka amafestera kwabanjani. Kweza umasipala wathi uzosisiza, maqeda bathi angeke basisize ngoba uma wethu lendle wayi-extend bebazosisiza uma ngabe bekusese RDP kuphela. And asitholi ma food parcel, asitholi nix nje. So nje kona kunzima. Kunzima ngoba abantwana mabalambile ebusuku masibatshela ukuthi nizodla kusasa or lalani siyapheka, sithela ibhoda amanzi silibilise silivale kube kungana nix ukuthi balale phela. Since nje nale COVID le ayikho nje into enzakalayo ukuthi akunamehluko nje kuyafana. Asitholi uncedo, asitholi isizo nje, ayikho into enzakalayo la. Sihleli nje nalabantwana and kwesinye isikhathi njengoba kunganamafestera so sinokungenelwa yigebengu ebusuku. Usithi silele siza umuntu sekahamba la endlini, kumele sivuke simgijimise.
Abo baba babantwana bona bakhe
Abasupport abantwana babo abanendaba nje, uyabona?
So siswami mhlambe mangasitshela ukuthi abantwana baneminyaka emingaki?
Omunye una 8, omunye una 10, omunye una 5, omunye una 13, omunye uzoyenza 1 una 9 months. Then bese lo omunye una 15. Baphelele ba-6.
Government I think uye wayifakele imali ye-grant yabantwana. Yanisiza leyo mali mhlambe njengoba ifakelwe kanje?
Iyasiza khona kancane, uyabona? Ngoba ngithi omunye mhlamba akana icathulo, omunye akana majezi, uyayibona? Le enye kumele sithenge ngayo, sithengele lo ngana icathulo, lo ngana ijezi. Bese lokho kunye sithenga ngakho ukudla.
Ucabanga ukuthi mhlambe isikhathi lese lockdown senze impilo zenu zabanzima o umehluka nobona?
Hayi umehluka siwuboni thina. Kuyayifanela nje. Kuyayifanela. Umehluka hayi. awukho umehluko kuyafana.
Abazali benu mhlambe mangasitshela ngabo kwenzakalani ngabo.
Abazali bethu bashona 2005. Ubaba wethu washona 99 nge-car accident. Umama wethu wagula 2005 washona nge-26 zakaMarch. Since nje singanabazali sizikhulela sithu.
Mama Mphosi kubingelele sikwamukele ku-Expressions. Please speak to us ngomsebenzi lo wenzayo as i-founder ye-Nkabetse Care Center emphakathini.
Thank you so much, Mko, for having us, for visiting us, and to come and see the wonderful work that we are doing.
All right, now the coronavirus, okanye COVID-19, has turned us into one big global community because this is not just a problem we're facing in Mzansi Africa. Do you think umsebenzi we-government that we're seeing right now is enough to help South Africans, as we've seen South Africans, ordinary South Africans like yourself, step up to the plate and assist?
This is not enough, you understand, because I had to go out and try and look for something that, just to cater and or give to these people who can reach whatever that other people are getting out there. And we don't even know what is happening.
Okay, Ma, speak to us about, what ordinary South Africans like yourself can do ukusiza imiphakathi yabo on the day-to-day.
As much as we don't need to be dependent into, being it, yes, governments or companies or whatever, but they also, I'm teaching them that they need to stand up and do things for themselves,
Okay, Ma, sithanda ukubonga kakhulu, and we wish you all the best going forward.
Indlala ekhaya ibhokile ngoba nje kuyi lockdown imali yegrant nayo incane. Yebo siyavuma uRamaphosa usedelile kodwa iya edingweni omama bethu abasebenzi babhadala ugesi, babhadala amanzi, bathenga ukudla, kumele futhi bethengele nathi impahla. Yebo bayifakile imali kodwa yona incane nje. Lokho nje nginakho.
People are struggling out there, and because I also grew up in a center, I know how it feels to be hungry, to have no shelter, and so the little we can try and provide.
Ukudla kuyashesha ukuphela endlini because asinasezikolweni sidla 3 times endlini and kuyashesha ukuphela. Sicela nisifake uRamaphosa, sicela sidele imali incane guys. Inezidingo eziningi endlini, sidinga izinto eziningi.
Khona asiye esikoleni and lokho kugcizelela ekutheni ukudla kusheshe kuphela endlini. Yebo siyavuma ikhushule imali yegrant kodwa nayo inezidingo njengokuthi kumele iye mhlambe kuma old mutuals njengoba necorona ibhokile bafethu ngeke sithembele ekutheni sohlezi siphila. Khona siyabonga ukuthi khona okuncane esikutholayo.
Ake mbukeli siqhubekela phambili ngale nkulumo ebaluleke kakhulu uma sibuya as we ask the big question namhlanje ukuthi are government's relief efforts enough for basic human needs? Do get in touch with us enkundleni zethu zokuxhumana. Siyabuya.
We continue our conversation on poverty and, most importantly, how the poverty levels have actually worsened as a result of COVID-19 and especially the lockdown. We are on location in Katlehong at an informal settlement called Crossroads. Now, Crossroads is like many other informal settlements that are affected by unemployment, by poverty and hunger. A lot of the children who come from this community don't actually even know where their next meal is going to come from. As Expressions, we wanted to put a very special spotlight on an important initiative that is making a difference in the lives of communities such as this. This is an initiative that is run by Umam Kumalo called God Commanded a Raven, and she is providing much needed assistance because some of the children and young people who live in this community don't have anywhere else to go in order to be fed. And many of them were depending on schools. And now that the schools have been shut down, they really don't know where they're going to get their next meal from. So let's speak to Mam Khumalo and find out the big difference that she's making in this community. Mam Khumalo, very warm welcome to Expression. Siyabonga ukuthi you could be here with us. Mam Khumalo, we just wanted to understand, Uti, what is it that motivated you, inspired you to start God Commanded Ravens?
The organization yami God Commanded Ravens since ngayiqala 1999. Ngibona abantwana abahluphekile abanganabazali, ngibona abantu abangama homeless abalala estradini, ngacela uNkulunkulu ukuthi angisize ngaloko okuncane nginako ngiyosiza labo bantu labo until today. Ngacela impahla zokugqoka kubantu abangasayisebenzisi ukuthi bangiphe zona ngiyogqokisa labantwana, bangiphe zona ngiyogqokisa lama homeless, labantu abalala estradini. uNkulunkulu wangisiza until today.
Mam Khumalo, we want to find out ukuthi i-COVID-19 ne-lockdown i-affected this community kanjani?
I-affecta umuntu wonke. Khona manje abantwana bahleze emakhaya, abaye ezikolweni, balambile. Yiyo lento namhlanje silethe labantwana ukudla kule ndawo ngoba balambile, abakhona nokuya ezikolweni. Iba affectile kakhulu mama.
You know, as much as you're helping, we also saw ukuthi, you know, the kids, they were in the line. So things like social distancing, masks, sanitizers, how do you make sure ukuthi you are implementing those things, and that as much as you're doing a good thing here, that you're also making sure ukuthi you're keeping the young people and the people in this community safe?
Ngibonga kakhulu ukuthi kukhona abangisizayo ukuthi ngikhone ukuthenga ama-masks, ngikhona ukuthenga ama-gloves, ngikhona ukuthenga ukudla. Ngiyabonga kakhulu ukuthi bayangisiza.
Mama, for a lot of people batlhopegang during this lockdown and quarantine, people right now who say arana dijo, people who say arana mosebetsi, ne ke kopa fela nje gore o ba kgothatse, o ba fe encouragement and inspiration during this time.
Yeah, ngiyabakhuthaza kakhulu mama ngoba namhlanje asiqala ukuza la. Sesihambele indawo eziningi sizama ukusiza abantu abadala abahluphekayo. Sizama ukuthenga ama-food parcel, sibamikisele wona, sibakhuthaze ukuthi lokho okuncane esibalethele kona kuwusizo kakhulu.
Mama, as Expressions, we want to say thank you very much. Mosebetsi o o etsang ke mosebetsi o montle haholo. We hope gore mosebetsi wa hao o ka hola so that you can assist more people. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Incwadi esilitholayo la lisho okukhulu ngoba khona abantwana bavuka bangazi ukuthi bangadlani ekuseni, manje abomama ngapha bakwazile ukusiza, manje khona wazi ukuthi sekedlile sekenzeni, futhi into esithathayo ukuthi siyakwazi ukuthi sesisuthi uba bebengekho abomama laba ngabasazi besingazi ukuthi basodlani njengoba ekuseni, bengazi ukuthi uzophuma yenzeni umzali ngaphandle for ukuthi abantwana badle.
Hawu sibona umsebenzi bani bomme bakhona bayi emsebenzini hape ngathi nesanadisho.
Most abazali basiphila ngegranti siningi inyanga iphele bese sithenga ukudla nge-1, and abanye abantwana abana uniform kuze abantu basipha ama uniform.
Clearly, poverty in our country is a serious problem, and with the lockdown, this issue has even become far worse. We obviously want to applaud all these organizations that are doing their part to help out when it comes to this issue of poverty. We continue with this conversation after the break. You're watching Expressions. We'll be back. Now we are at our next location in Benoni at a place called Kids Haven. We're going to be speaking to young people and finding out how this particular issue on poverty is affecting them, but most importantly, how the lockdown has actually impacted on their education as school-going students and learners.
It has taken a pride from me. You know, the fact that you phone umuntu and ask for ukudla and things, but thanks to Kids Haven, iyanginceda ihlala ikhona, and with academically it has like taken me back because angina cell phone, a smartphone I don't have, and esikoleni they're sending us assignments and things which I cannot access. So you understand ukuthi chances of me repeating my course are very high. Yeah.
Like izinto eziningi nje ziyachinja, but sibonga nje thina we are lucky unfortunately because Kids Haven siyakhona ukuthi sibafonele basinikeza ama-voucher or ama-food parcels.
These children come to us, you know, being 13, 14 years old, and sort of a foundation have actually been set from their families. And then when they come here, we need to reroute them into, you know, complying to the new methods of understanding how to work with adults and how to, you know, respect others. So they somehow, you know, put a challenge in that, you know, they are used to a particular kind of a lifestyle, and then when they come here, they have to, you know, adjust. But however, we are, you know, quite confident that, you know, over time they get to learn to the system and actually adjust to the system.
As we continue with this all-important discussion right here on Expressions, namhlanje sikhulumisana ne-psychologist uSisi Uviwe Dweba, who is a clinical psychologist who's going to try and put things into perspective for us. Let's go meet her.
Hello. Hi. Please
come in. Viewers, thank you so much for your time on Expressions today. Well, today's topic on Expressions, you know, is around poverty. Sifuna ukwazi-ke kuwena ukuthi what's the impact of poverty to ulusha that have to fend for themselves and fend for their families, ikakhulukazi laba abavela kuma-child-headed households?
I mean, if I'm thinking about poverty among our youth, I think the thing that comes to mind for me before anything is how it disadvantages their start to life. So your average child who has access to at least the resources that they need and has a parental unit or parental figures who are able to be present because they aren't overwhelmed by not being able to meet the daily needs for themselves but also for their family, has a bit more of a secure start to life. But when you start from an impoverished background, there's so much that you are having to struggle so much more for.
All right, I guess khulume mhlambe ngama emotions that go through mhlambe umqondo womuntu who's got a feeling of loneliness ngalesikhathi samanje, umuntu who's feeling as if, you know, life doesn't matter anymore, kakhulukazi umuntu ohlezi endlini under lockdown.
I think there absolutely is a correlation because a lot of, I think what you're saying right now, I think there are so many more child-headed households than we're aware of because there are a lot of circumstances that prevent parental figures from being able to be present, whether it's being in a position where they have had to ask a relative to take care of their children because they need to work far away because that's the only opportunity that they have, or living in impoverished circumstances, coming with the threat of so much disease, so much more than in a middle class environment. You know, whether, you know, children have lost their parents in that case. So I think that the statistics are more than we realize.
Can we ngasitshela usibeke esithombeni ngama underlying feelings around, you know, coming from an impoverished background, you know, having to fend for the entire family as a head of a family, as a young person. What do you think are some of the feelings that go with that?
I think with especially growing up in a state of poverty, it does so much to your psychological well-being, starting with your attachment. And when I speak about attachment, I speak about your start to relationships in life, which creates the foundation for your self-esteem, creates the foundation for how you relate to others and to yourself in the world. So the first thing that growing up in impoverished circumstances does is it really gives you a beginning with a very low self-esteem. And also what happens is that it creates a mindset where I have to attend to my immediate needs because I don't have the resources to attend to the needs that I anticipate I'll have in 10 years or to save towards them. So all I'm doing is living hand to mouth. I'm living from moment to moment. So there's the sense that's created that there is no real future, which then affects my ability to cope. Because part of what helps us to be able to cope with difficult circumstances, with adversity, is to be able to imagine for ourselves that there is something better that is beyond where I am right now. And when you're living in impoverished circumstances, that feeling isn't there. So your self-esteem is so low, and it feels like there is no real future you can look forward to. So coping with the stresses that other people are facing that will also affect you, that might also affect you, becomes so much harder.
Okay, Sis View, I think one must touch this biggest Tombeni about the psychological impact for abantwana that come from homes where abazali bayantenga. What's the impact on the kids?
So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I spoke a little bit about attachment. And our ability to be able to move, to feel that we're moving safely in the world is dependent on us being securely attached to our parental figures or whoever our primary caregivers are. And when you have a parent or a parental figure who is living in poverty, obviously the whole family is at this point, well, the family, the parents and the children, it's difficult for parents to have the capacity to be able to give children what they need to be able to form a secure attachment, because mom and dad, or mom or dad alone, are overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed. They're tired, they're living from moment to moment, wondering where the next meal is coming from. And to be able to give their children kind of consistent, sustained, meaningful interaction that is mentally stimulating is hard, because they themselves are struggling psychologically. So what we find in the kids are the psychological results of being the children of parents who psychologically don't have the resources to parent in a way that is attuned and in a way that is consistent, because everyone is always in survival mode. So those children won't be securely attached, which then affects their behavior later on in life, which means that they're more susceptible to mental illnesses, such as depression and anxiety, behavioral issues at school as well.
As Expressions, we hope that we have taken you inside the lives and the stories of everyday South Africans who are struggling because of poverty and who are struggling even more because of the lockdown that has been instituted in this country. And despite the odds and the challenges that we've seen in the stories that we've exposed today, there is a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of everyday heroes who are making a difference and making an impact in the lives of those who are struggling during this time. And go.
Yeah, and Jackie, and I think one of my greatest takeouts from today's episode was just watching ordinary people from Mpagatini making a difference. So it does show that you don't have to be a billionaire to help out. It starts with you, Lapekaya. And we do hope that now we've inspired you to my efforts to ensure that when we get out of this, we're all stronger as a nation, because everything we've seen amplifies that we all in this together. Sibonga ke Mbukeli for participating from all of us here at Expressions. We wish you a great evening going forward. Nsale kahle.
Adios, muchachos. Bye.